Hypothetically, do you think if you and Tade were in the same room, he would talk to you? Yeah. Who else am I talking to?
Yeah. If it was just me and him, how long are we in? If it's just me and him, and how long are we locked in this room together? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he could probably talk to me.
What up, party people? All right, I apologize for the sweat that's beading off my face. I just got back from a steamy rucking session over at the local ski hill, and it's absolutely scorching outside. Luckily, though, I had my all-day fuel on board from our friends over at Ketone Aid, so now I'm straight buzzing and ready to bring you the heat. Speaking of friends over at Ketone Aid, I want to give a heartfelt thank you for all of y'all that continue to support the show with your hard-earned dollars by picking up some of your favorite product from any number of our amazing show sponsors. We love hearing from our supporters that you guys are straight up killing it with the use of those discount codes because it truly does help keep this thing rolling. None of us have actually taken any of the money for ourselves yet. However, having some extra play money does allow us to do some cool things like upgrading equipment when we need it, paying for professionals to produce the show instead of having your boy get hate mail every week from all the shoddy edit jobs that I was doing back in the old days. We get to use those funds for things like coming to events to meet with some of y'all. Speaking of events coming up, we got Leadville in a few weeks, Schwamigan, some boys will be out there. I'm sure a few of us will be heading down to Big Sugar in October. And don't forget, you heard it here, Dylan committed to Iceland. That's right. The whole crew is going to be coming to Iceland in November, so we'd love to see you there. So in addition to all that, we also get to do some cool things like launching spin-off podcasts. That's right. If you listen to the end of the show, we give a little teaser as to what you can expect coming up here in the next couple weeks. Just another example of some of the fun things that we get to do with those funds that are coming in. So we appreciate it. That said, if you're new to the show here, let me just quickly rattle off a few of our continued supporters that you guys can hop on the discount code train along with our boy Dizzle, who is always shopping those discount sales. We've got our lovely crew over at SILCA, our longest running show sponsor, who's always mixing up with fun discount codes to bring y'all with the latest code coming in at capital B Bonk Bros July 2025. That's capital B Bonk Bros July 2025. For the silky smooth shave experience, check out our homies over at Bolt Skin and Shave, and you can use the code BROS15. It's all uppercase in my notes. I think you can use uppercase or lowercase, but just to be safe, all uppercase BROS15 for 15% off over at Bolt Skin and Shave. For all of your bicycle tire and accessory shopping needs, head over to Bike Tires Direct, or BTD as we call them, and use the code BONKBROS. That's all lowercase. Again, in my notes, I don't really know. You could probably try plugging in the all uppercase. I don't think it matters in that one. But just to be safe, all lowercase, Bonk Bros. I see a couple more here for y'all. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, Ketone Aid has been a supporter of ours, and they are just straight killing the game in the ketone energy space. Head over to the show notes for a link there where you can get free shipping and access to all of their products. We've got Join Cycling, who is the latest AI training platform to come in and help you get faster on the bike and hopefully help you off the bike too. Head over to join.cc/bonkbros to check out any of their programs. And the last one for today, Bicycle Accident Law, spearheaded by Matthew Scarborough, who is with you on every ride, for better or worse. Just mention the Bonk Bros sent you if you're ever in need of their services, and they will get you a bonus offer for doing so. Okay, so if you have any questions or feedback for the show, you can drop us a note at bonkbrospodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit up the Bonk Bros Instagram page, which those get filtered out pretty sparsely. So I apologize if we haven't gotten to your Instagram question. We usually only get one or two of those pushed through each week. So yeah, if you've got a question that you're just dying for us to answer, make sure to sign up for Patreon. You can donate for as little as, I think it's $3 a month, and that gets your question pushed to priority. So we always make sure we get to those each week. All right, I hear you. That's enough business talk for today. Let's get this party started already.
Why are we asking Scott if he's ready? He's not even going to talk for the first 15 minutes anyway.
I know, I just show on loud noises in the back.
Yeah, he gets the most worked up about the countdown. So we just want to be,
Yeah.
We want to recognize.
All right, so Tyler, what race did you get last in?
Actually, I'm going to fact check myself. I'm pretty sure, was that Cyclocross 24? I'm pretty sure I was the first one pulled in Coxida, which is a race in a country called Belgium, which is.
But
not
if you're the first one
here.
pulled, that means there was someone behind you, though, because they would have gotten pulled after you.
No, if you're the first one pulled, you are the last. You're in last place, and you got pulled first.
Unless someone
Not
just
necessarily,
dropped
though.
out.
Not if you're with a
before.
whole group of people that are going to get pulled. Because they pull you at the finish line. So you come across the finish line first.
Oh, okay.
Tyler was
and then
probably
someone
so
behind
far
you gets
behind that he was in his own lap. Like that, he was
His
the
own
only
group.
one pulled on that lap.
Yeah, dude.
48
First lap.
of 48. No, it was not first lap because I rode at least another lap to realize that I hate that course. I don't hate it. It was cool. But 48th of 48 in the Crockpotanator World Cup 2019.
All right, Adam.
Nice.
Adam, have you ever gone DFL?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Actually, the first pro mountain bike race I ever did, Grand Junction Off-Road, I finished. I was the last person to finish. There was like 20 people that didn't finish, but
Okay.
I was the last finisher.
I'm proud of you for finishing, despite the fact that you were
had
last.
to finish it with like broken spoke, broken brake, broken hand.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah. Did you crash?
Lots.
Lots. Yeah, okay. Grand
yeah,
Junction
finished.
course is like super unforgiving. You know, on the East Coast, if you hit a bush, it's like you don't even notice it. The bush just gets out of the way. For some reason, like those Grand Junction bushes, it's a tiny ass bush and it's like stiff as like a rock. You hit it and your bars just.
That's because most of the time there are rocks in the bush.
I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah.
I guess that's the desert for you.
Things are just dry and hard.
Yeah. I was going to say I think I've only gotten dead last in a race one time, and it was a cyclocross race.
That checks out.
Yeah. It was like I was a junior. I was probably 15 or 16 or something.
24, 25.
And for some reason I thought it'd be a good 24. For some reason I thought it'd be a good idea to do the like Pro 1-2 race or whatever it was. And it wasn't. And I think that's the only race that I got last place in. I think it was DCCX actually.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you ever
nice.
go back? Or
We were
was that
probably
it?
in the same field.
Yeah, you probably beat me, man.
That's my claim to fame.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Scott, you ever gotten last place?
Probably, yeah. No, probably. I don't know.
Wow.
In like
Good
a
story, man. That's
race
cool.
where, like, if I'm in the gruppetto and nobody really cares anymore, maybe. You know, this happens quite often.
Wow. This guy gets last a lot. You heard it here first. Future teams, if you're trying to pick up Scott, he gets last a lot.
I'm going to fact check Scott on this. Let's see if there was a one that got last year.
Are you looking at pro cycling stats?
Dude, you were 109th of 115 in the 2015 Tour Labitibi.
Whoa. How do you find that so fast? Is that even
All
true?
right, but that's not last place, man. Like last
Pretty
place,
close.
last place, you have to be the last. He would have had to be 115.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually
Let me
hard.
see.
That's actually a challenge.
yep, here
to
we
be
go. I was last.
The last person.
Tour
In
Britain,
what?
I was last place.
Dang.
On
Is that
stage
GC
something.
or?
No, stage 4. But I was in the breakaway,
Okay.
and then. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, that was
First to
terrible.
last. Wow.
Yeah, I, like the peloton just came straight past me, and I was out the ass immediately.
Solid, bro.
Nice.
That was like
Nice.
with I don't know 15K to go, and I lost 8 minutes.
Wow. 15K, 8 minutes.
Something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's impressive.
Your Wi-Fi sucks right now, by the way.
Me?
That's all right.
Yeah, you.
T-Mobile
fine.
fucking blows.
Yeah,
it does.
Just go Google something, Scott. Or
Keep
log
watching.
It
out,
seems fine.
log out and log back in.
Seems fine on my end.
Well, it doesn't
it's-
seem fine on our end because you like respond 15 seconds after we say something, which I don't know if it's just your normal mental processing or if it's your computer.
It's probably both.
All right. I think so did anybody see that Remco? So Remco pulled out of the tour, unfortunately. I feel bad for him because he's probably having a really rough time. But I will say, how ironic was it that Remco, the day before, he had a bad time trial, and then he puts up a post saying, yeah, bad time trial today, but quitting is not in my nature.
Psych. JK, guys.
That's pretty
that
bad.
was yesterday. Today, it's definitely my MO.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if I was in his shoes and I knew that I posted something like that the day before, I think I would just grit my teeth and make it to the finish line, but make sure that I made it outside of the time cut so I didn't have to continue. That way I could just be like, look, I tried to finish, guys, but
Time
Do
cut.
we know if it was on his accord or did his team kind of force him out?
Pretty sure he stepped off the bike on his own accord.
he was talking to the team car, and they were probably, like, he was probably saying, should I continue? Should I not continue? I'm sure he felt absolutely awful. You know what I mean? So like, I don't blame him for pulling out because he probably did feel really terrible, but I'm just saying, after a post like that, you got to make it to the finish line, man.
Yeah. Yeah, at least make it to the finish line and then pull out.
That's what I'm saying. Just make sure you make it just purposely don't make the time cut. Then
Right.
you can be like, look, I tried.
I tried.
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching the tour at all? Besides
Actually, yeah.
stepping off, really?
Also, speaking of people pulling out, did you guys see that MVDP got pneumonia? Apparently, he's not starting today's stage.
Oh, really? I did not see that. That's pretty wild.
It's sad day for cycling in general.
Yeah. He was like kind of hunting too. I feel like.
Yeah.
How many more stage opportunities does he have though?
Yeah, but they were talking about how there were a lot of like intermediate points that he could have been going for.
Yeah, he was. It's funny that he was like, "Nah, I'm not going for green," and then he like gets in the move to go for green, which is kind of, I don't know. That's where you just like don't trust anything that the riders say because sometimes they're just trolling you.
Yeah, I know that. So if Philipsen is in the race, MVDP kind of has to play lead out man for Philipsen, which is good because that's probably how they're going to get the most stage wins. But I almost felt like Philipsen being out of the tour was kind of like a golden opportunity for MVDP. Like he doesn't have to be lead out man. He could go for green himself if he wanted to.
He could, but I don't think
he's
he
gonna.
cares.
You think he's gonna get the green?
No, dude, you missed it. He got pneumonia. He pulled out.
Dang. Is that what happened?
Well,
Is that what happened to Remco too? Was he sick?
He's just
we were literally just talking about Remco.
Just listen back to the first 10 minutes.
All right, my bad.
I said
Vanderpool pulled out just now.
It just happened. So I mean, it is according to Scott, it's old news, but it's not really that much old news.
Scott's on the Vanderpool text message thread, so he just gets.
Alpecin they would have had a more successful tour with Philipsen for sure. As a team.
I'm just saying for Vanderpool specifically, like that's kind of a golden opportunity because as long as you're on Alpecin.
Do you think
you're gonna have to be the lead out man for Philipsen?
Do you think Alpecin like had planned for, because Vanderpool was in yellow after stage 2 before, because they were in yellow and green together on stage 3. So like, yeah, okay, because that was before. So they had probably planned that like for Vanderpool.
Well, I mean, that's just because he won the second stage.
I know, but like they probably looked at the stage and was like, oh, if Vanderpool wins, he might go into yellow or what. That's pretty cool. I was trying to remember if that was like that was something that happened after Philipsen had crashed and it was like, oh, well, let's try to put Vanderpool in the yellow to get to like revive this tour. But I mean, regardless, I still think they've had a good tour as a team.
They've won, 2 or 3 stages?
Yeah. First two stages, they had both their guys in the jerseys. Like Vanderpool was in yellow for 3-4 days. Went back into the yellow. Dude, that was epic. By 2 seconds, that might have been like the most exciting part of the stage so far, or the tour so far. Like when Vanderpool got in that break and got it by like a second.
You don't think it was super exciting when Tade dropped Jonas by like 4 minutes up that climb?
Like on which day?
It's like
first
stage
Monday.
3.
What was it on Tuesday?
On Monday?
The day before the rest day, the announcers were like, "Oh, this is going to give Jonas so much confidence. We've never seen him climb this good with Tade in 2 years." And I'm like, all he did was not get dropped. I'm like, and they're like blowing it out of proportion to try to make the tour exciting. And I'm like, this isn't exciting. Like Jonas just didn't get dropped that day.
Yeah.
He still got beat at the end. Like Tade just rode around him.
All right, Adam, you sent a post on the chat that was just kind of showing like the fastest times up. Whatever, was it the time trial stage?
No, it was the stage before.
Yeah. So you sent a post showing whatever climb they did is showing like the fastest times up that climb, and Tade is like second up that climb. And then everybody else on the list of top 10 is a doper from the 90s or early 2000s. Like Armstrong's on the list, a bunch of other dopers are on the list. And the caption is basically insinuating that how are you top 10 all time when the rest of the top 10 is all dopers? I think I'm not saying that doping isn't happening, but I think what I said was we're comparing technology from 20 years ago at this point. I would say that like tire technology and aerotech could explain the difference entirely.
Of course, you would
even on a climb, you think?
Yeah, I mean, like they're going pretty fast up these climbs. Not to the point where aero matters a lot, but tire technology matters a lot.
Even on the climbs, like the bikes have gotten lighter, right? I mean,
no, because they've always had a weight limit.
Weight limit.
So the drivetrains are more efficient because they're waxing their chains now. The tires are the tire technology has improved.
And a Crockpotanator. That's right.
Yeah, the Visma team. I mean, Jonas keeps getting dropped, but Visma team is using SILCA. And then Aero's a little bit better. Like to me, that the difference in tech entirely explains that. And I'm not saying that Tade is clean, and I'm not saying he's dirty. I don't know if he's clean or dirty, but
he seems too wholesome to be doping.
Yeah, but
it just seems so wholesome. Like I could see Jonas.
I mean, obviously, no one wants to believe.
I'd see Jonas doping before I saw Tade doping.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have said the same thing about?
Yeah, I know.
Kate Compton.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, she wasn't very wholesome, but Tyler, had you ever talked to her?
I talked to Mark a lot.
Yeah, I've talked to every other pro cyclocross woman except for Katie Compton.
Well, just because you didn't talk to her doesn't mean she's not wholesome.
Well, it says something about her, I think.
Well,
why? Why does she have to talk to you? She probably didn't even know who you are.
Well, I was in the same room as her so many times. Like, so many. I mean, like, how do you would think that we would have talked at some point, right?
I mean, you can say this. I say the same thing about a bunch of gravel pros, but they don't have to talk to me. I can still hate them.
Yeah, they don't have to. That's the point I'm making. Is for someone to be wholesome, they usually go out of the way to talk to you.
Maybe. Maybe you just give off a vibe, dude.
What if they're just introverted?
Maybe.
Unacceptable.
Hypothetically, do you think if you and Tade were in the same room, he would talk to you? Yeah. Who else am I talking to?
Yeah. If it was just me and him, how long are we in? If it's just me and him, and how long are we locked in this room together? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he'd probably talk to me.
Like you guys are stuck in an elevator. If we were locked
in a room together for a day, I'm sure we would talk.
It's like you're in a waiting room and you're waiting to see, I don't know, you're both talking to Bike Tires Direct about sponsorship, right? Because Tade's washed. Do you think he's just playing on his phone? Well, he has to initiate the conversation. You can't just start talking to him and showing him your YouTube content.
I don't know.
Maybe Drew whips out that Bolt shave razor and starts shaving his legs to instigate the conversation.
Or his face. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you got to do something crazy.
I don't think that you can tell who's a doper and who's not a doper by their outward personality.
Yeah. I knew that's where we were going. Yeah. But it's fun to talk about their personality in context of if they're doping or not.
I think he'd talk to you, Drew.
Good, thank you.
I think he'd be interested.
Thanks. That means a lot. I like that. That makes my self-confidence feel so much better that Tyler thinks that if Tade in a hypothetical situation would talk to me.
I'm just here to build you up, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks,
man.
Just making sure that you know that I know.
What do you think the odds are that Tade watches your YouTube content, Drew?
I was thinking like there's European people that watch our videos and stuff. And I guess a part of this why I was thinking this is because at the Rift, there weren't that many Americans there. There weren't a lot of Americans in the pro race. So there's it's a very international race. And I had kind of expected people to not know who I am because it's more of an international race, but just as many people at the Rift listen to this podcast as any other race we go to. So it's pretty cool.
Dude, you're so popular, man.
I mean, it was a couple times where like I had met on the last day I was there, like one of the girls that did the pro women's race was like, oh, it's like, we got introduced to each other. And then my friend said, oh yeah, he does a podcast. And she said, oh, what's your podcast? And I said, the Bonk Bros. And she said, no way. I love that. And I was like, really? Like, just kind of blew me away that an international woman, like,
yeah. And then you were like, dang, you're like, way friendlier than Kate Compton.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Definitely not doping.
Yeah.
I do agree with you though, DJ, on like the first thing that everybody goes to when any of these riders or the Peloton goes faster than they did in the 1980s, they're like, oh, they must be doping. And it's just like the difference in technology is so great that it can explain a lot of the differences in speed and training and nutrition, et cetera. So I push back a little bit against the people that just default to they must be doping because they went faster than they did 20 years ago. And those people were doping.
Yeah. I mean, that post, the interesting thing that the post pulled out was, it said of the top 19 men to have ridden this climb all time, all but 3 are confirmed dopers. And then it says 2 rode today. 1 was slower than his last time for what seems to be because of the banning of carbon monoxide. So right there, he's like calling out Tade, saying like he's already slower because he can't huff carbon monoxide.
Sometimes people are just slower than the year before. It's not because they didn't huff carbon monoxide.
Whooped up on Jonas, so he didn't need to go faster.
Well, I think they're saying, wasn't it Jonas who was doing carbon monoxide? Could be wrong.
No, Jumbo, there were several teams that were doing carbon monoxide rebreathing at altitude. And the theory was that they were doing it at altitude to enhance the gains that they're getting from altitude.
I think they're referring to Jonas, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Jonas went slower than last year, correct?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I thought they both did. But.
I don't know. I think that it's always, I mean, every single year when the tour comes on, like a lot of people who don't normally watch bike racing start watching bike racing. Mm-hmm. And then, because of Lance Armstrong and just the terrible reputation that cycling has, everybody's just, whoever's winning the tour, it doesn't have to be Tade. It could literally be anyone. It's just the doping allegations just start running rampant.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying he's clean. I'm not saying he's dirty. I honestly don't know. I'm just saying that, like, if you're comparing times from 20 years ago, it's like we've come a long way in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last part of that post that I thought was actually like I kind of resonated with. He says, "I'm actually for doping, just for the record, but these riders agreed."
Adam resonates with that.
No. But he says, but these riders agreed to not doping.
Oh,
So, and that's the part that's like.
So what he doesn't like is the lying. Like if you,
Correct.
yeah, okay.
Because then it's not an even playing field for everyone. Like that's what we all want. That's the main reason we're not for doping, right?
What about like health?
Yeah, because you want to.
Does anyone give a shit about that? You think anything to do with MMA is good for your health?
If you wanted to be healthy, you just shouldn't be a cyclist.
yeah.
Totally,
muscle
100%.
mass.
You think that tour is good for health?
Muscle mass is tremendously correlated to longevity.
Just pounding hundreds of milligrams
and
of caffeine,
VO2 max.
sugar.
Yeah. I mean, you know how in professional bodybuilding, like I guess they have like leagues or whatever. Clearly, I don't know enough about professional bodybuilding, but they have leagues,
different
that are
divisions.
Also
different divisions that are clean. But like the highest level, like Mr. Olympia or whatever, they just accept that these guys are on steroids. They're just like, yeah, I mean, they're on steroids. That's just part of it. Like nobody's like, oh, dude, I bet they're on steroids. Everybody's just like, yeah, they're on steroids.
Wasn't baseball like that for a long time? But now,
no.
Now it's
baseball was always supposed to be clean.
Yeah,
I know, but wasn't it kind of like known that like, okay, yeah, well, half the dudes are on steroids, but they're like just until recently, it's gotten really strict. Like, weren't there a lot of famous players that were?
Yeah, there was an era.
Yeah, there was like an era of famous players that were just known to have been on steroids.
Yeah, like early 2000s. It was pretty. Yeah. That's when everyone was going for like the home run record. You know, like it was pretty evident that the guys.
It's like the kind of the same as cycling. Like everybody knew. I take that back. I mean, back in the day, I don't think everybody knew. There were a lot of people that were just as hopeful as they are now that it was clean, but it wasn't.
I don't think people outside of the sport knew. That's the difference. Right. Like, but everyone in the sport knew.
Right. I mean, I guess the difference that I'm saying with like professional bodybuilding is everybody inside the sport knows, everybody outside of the sport knows, everybody knows.
Because it's literally allowed.
I mean, they just don't
There's
test.
A clean division and then there's an open division.
Right. Yeah. They just don't test. Yeah. I don't think they like say like this is the steroid division. But you know that it's the steroid division.
When you have a clean division and then you have a other division, it's very much implied.
Sure, yeah.
Like I even asked, a buddy of mine did a local bodybuilding competition earlier this year, and he did the clean division as like.
Is that Mr. Sioux Falls? Is that the Mr. Sioux Falls? Is there a Mr. Olympia?
Maybe.
Mr. Sioux Falls.
I don't even know. Yeah, I guess it could be. But he did like the clean amateur beginners division. And I was like, did you consider just do it? Like, could you have just done the open division? And he's like, I would never do the open division because like everyone's doping. It's like you have no chance. Like you can't be clean and do the open division. You just have no chance.
Clean amateur beginner. It's just like a bunch of scrawny ass dudes going up on stage.
I guess. Just a bunch of dad
from
bods.
Sioux Falls. I mean, like, yeah.
Dude, imagine the physiques of the clean amateur beginners.
Yeah. He did look pretty yoked.
Okay.
So if there was an open category in cycling, you're saying, Adam, you would do it? You would?
No. I'm saying I resonate with the fact that this guy says, I don't like the fact that they're going against the rules.
I think that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, they should have open categories in sports. Like you'll hear people make that argument a lot. Like they're like, well, if we just legalized everything, then we wouldn't have this problem. I think it's a very good thing that doping is not legal Adam, you were just saying who cares about health, but I mean, we don't want people We don't want
yeah,
people
I mean-
like dropping dead in the middle of the night because their blood
100%,
because their
yeah.
blood is so thick. You know what I mean?
I'm not advocating for doping at all. Just also for the record.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not.
Kind of sounded.
I was just saying I resonate with the fact that this guy's saying the main problem here is that like they agreed to not dope. So the fact that someone might be doping, that's like a huge problem.
Maybe we could host if we did our first ever Bonk Bros event, it would just be
An open category.
the Bonk Bros doping race.
No, I
I
feel
thought
like
we were going to have a Bonk Bros bodybuilding competition.
Oh, that could be a category too. That'll be like the pre-show. You got
Pre-show.
you get called up. You get called
The
up
opener.
based on your bodybuilding performance the day before. That'd be legit.
Well,
They have a race like that. Isn't there one race in Europe that's like that? It's like, come on, dopers, come on in. This is the doping race.
I think it's called a Grand Fondo.
That's good.
Am I wrong?
In Florida?
The Florida State Grand Fondo. Yeah, it's probably the dirtiest race. Yeah.
Well, speaking of dirty races, how was the Rift, Drew?
Good.
Dirty from the surroundings, and that you're covered in volcanic ash.
I thought you were just accusing me of doping.
Nah, dude.
I thought you
the only
meant
thing
that I
you're
had
high
such a
on
good
is
result
caffeine.
that I must have been doping to get such
It'd
a
be
good
really
result.
embarrassing if you were doping.
Yeah, it was-
with how good you were.
It was hard. I couldn't
You mean
find
with
the.
how poor I? Did you mean that
Yes.
as like with how slow I am? It'd be bad if I was doping.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think he
He
meant?
said how good. I think he meant how bad.
Mm-hmm.
Use the wrong word. It would be sad, yeah. If even with all the doping, I still did as bad as I did. That would. Be
So Drew, so I couldn't find the results sheet, but I did find cycling news, and they listed the top 10. And what do you know?
Dizzle was in the top.
Drew
10,
was up
bro.
there.
I was sprinting.
Really?
I was
Let's go.
sprinting
Let's-
for 4th
Whoa.
against Tobias Kongstad, the winner of the Traka, and Adni. I don't remember his name, but he got like 10th.
Custer.
He got 10th at Unbound. These are the guys I was sprinting for 4th with.
Dang, dude. Nice.
And you
Adni,
lost to both of them.
yeah, I did. Adni after the race was over.
It's Andy, dude. It's ANDE.
No, it's ADNE. Adni.
Not on here.
No, they screwed it up because I asked him and I had him spell it for me at the finish line so that I wouldn't forget. Adni from Dutch. He's Dutch.
From Dutch.
Yeah, from Dutch. Have you ever thought about that? That it's called the Netherlands, but they're Dutch. It's confusing. Anyways, he at the finish line, he insulted me. I took it as he was trying to compliment me, but it was also an insult at the same time. He was like, "Dude, this has to be the best race of your career." I was like, I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I would take pride in the fact that he even follows your supposed career.
Well, yeah, true. True. I met him at Unbound when me and Chase were pre-riding, and we chatted with him for a while, and he was pretty cool. He was a homie.
Nice.
But like when you look back and you're dropping Simon, who's like won the race twice, and then you ride past Joris Niebenhaus, who got second at Crossworlds a few years. It's like,
Dude,
it's kind of mind blowing.
you dropped Joris?
Bro, I dropped Joris. Like,
Dude, remember when you were 2 years ago when you were freaking out that he was going to come to Unbound?
yeah, I literally in the race, like a moment after I passed him, I'm like, that conversation happened in my head. I was like, I remember when I was freaking out because I thought he was going to win Unbound, and I just passed the homie, and I'm like, something's
Did you just
off.
ride by him and ask first time?
No, I passed him on the run up, and then I was like,
On the run up.
I was
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we're getting ready for cross, aren't we? He's like, it's a little long for cross. And then he
Shut
said
up,
his
dude.
back was jacked or something. I was like,
Likely story, dude. That's what Iserbit does every time he gets his ass dropped. He just
Yeah.
starts going, "Oh, my back."
yeah. No, it was rad. I mean, I had a good race. I had an unexpectedly good race because I thought top 20 was going to be difficult because I'm pretty unfamiliar with all the Europeans, and Chase is more familiar. And I had asked him, like, what do you think I should be shooting for? And he said, like, top 20. And I'm like, all right. And then so to be fighting for a top 5 was kind of like mind blowing. So it was good.
Did it play out? Was there like a move that you got into, or was it just a race of attrition?
Everybody take a wrong turn, or what happened?
Oh, that was good, Tyler. Man, Tyler brought his A game today, dude. He brought the A game. Nah, I thought I was going to get dropped. We were in the chase group. A group of like 6 were up the road, and I wasn't even close enough to the front to like see them roll off. But it's so open that we could see them up the road for a long time. So I knew that there were 5 or 6 guys up the road, and I was in a group of like 15, and the group just kept dwindling and dwindling. And then we got to these, like, the hardest climbs in the course come at like mile 75. And I was literally at the back of the group expecting to get dropped on those climbs. And then me and Adney were the only ones left after the climbs. So
Whoa.
I was like, okay, well, and nobody attacked or anything. I was in my easiest gear, just like pedaling at this, like I went up the hill as slow as I could have because of my gearing. So, but other people went slower. So
for all the listeners out there, if you want to go faster, just put some bigger gears on your bike.
Yeah. I literally like wished I had more gears, but if I had more gears, I probably would have went slower for real.
What were you running?
A 48, 46, the Explorer, Ceramic Explorer stuff.
Was the course as bumpy as they say?
Bro, so bumpy. Like, dude, it's bumpy. Like,
it looks gnarly.
The last 30 miles is, I mean, it has smooth sections, but the last 30 miles, I'm thinking like, all right, I'm smoked. I was with these 2 guys. I'm like, it's all pretty much downhill. Like, cause you climb the first, there's a bunch of climbing to get up into the like volcano area. And then there's a bunch of descending back to town. So I was like, okay, the last 30 miles should be pretty chill. Cause the last like 5 miles are on pavement. And then the 20 miles before that are downhill. But dude, this 20 miles of downhill were like almost the worst part. Cause that's when you're the most tired. And that was the bumpiest part. And going faster actually sucks more when it's bumpy. Cause then you're just getting like bumped worse. It was brutal.
How many mountain bike tires and suspension forks did you see out there?
Not as many as there should have been. There were a good bit of suspension forks, but the 2 guys I was with were on not mountain bike tires and not suspension forks.
Dude.
And one of the guys in the break, we passed him like on like, you know, I don't know, less than 15 miles from the finish, and he had flatted his gravel tires, no suspension fork, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, yeah. It's like a course that without a doubt, no hesitations, mountain bike tires and suspension fork. And I even got beat to shreds. I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing it not on the suspension fork.
That's why I was saying, you know, you should have put the 2 4s on.
Yeah, you were probably right. I think I asked the guys at Laugh. I think they said that 2 4s would be pretty close in the rear, but in the front, I think it would be fine.
Well, who cares what they say? Just put it on and see if it fits.
True.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the bumpier the course is, obviously the better mountain bike tires are. I feel like a course like that, like,
and there's no pavement. The only pavement is the first and last 5 miles.
Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from your physical abilities, Drew, because it's a very impressive result, but you for sure had a massive advantage because of your bike.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. Massive advantage.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I also think it literally looks somehow the climbing played into my favor.
It like I'm looking at the pictures here. It's literally like looks like a different planet.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, everybody, if you're listening to this, this is going to be the main point of my YouTube video that's going to come out tomorrow. Is like, as a cyclist, you now have a legitimate reason to go to Iceland, and you need to go there before you die. Like you're going to die.
Okay, well, obviously.
You're going to die. So the longer you wait, the like closer you are to dying, the less opportunities you're going to have to go to Iceland. You got to go to Iceland. Like I'm like, if Visit Iceland wanted to hire me, I would apply. Like I could be the Visit Iceland, and I didn't even do anything cool. I literally just went for the race. I didn't go to any hot springs. I didn't see I did there, but like I know
The race sucks.
I'm like already kind of mad that I didn't do any of the cool stuff because there's like a billion waterfalls, hot springs. You can like go snorkeling between tectonic plates. We drove past an active volcano. I could have like went and saw lava. Like, it's rad. Like,
well, you're going back in August, right? So you're gonna put a list together,
I'm there
a little
for like
bucket list?
7 days and racing 5 of those days. So maybe I could go to a waterfall.
Also sucks.
I don't know.
Maybe
those
CJ
races
can go
are
to the waterfalls while you're doing sucky stuff.
She can tell you about it.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said she could tell you about.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to come. Unfortunately, yeah, she's going to hold down we were going to go without the kids, but now she doesn't want to be away from the kids for that long. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Lauf likes me enough to sponsor me another year, and we'll get to go next year.
Do you think, Drew?
Yeah, that's true. Accurate.
Drew, so you're talking about telling people to go there. Can you ride these roads normally? Like, are these open roads that anyone can go ride?
Yeah, those kinds of roads I think are all over the country. Like, there's just all these.
Because it just looks so wild.
There's all these like spots where you can go hiking and camping, and so there's all these like off-road roads. That's dumb.
Gravel
roads that take you up to these hiking spots and stuff.
Do they call them gravel? Like,
what
or is it just like, do they call them like volcano
No,
roads?
most people around there, at least where we were, had like ORVs, like those side-by-sides, but the ones that look like racer side-by-sides, like the cool ones, like the Batmobile ones. That's what I think most people drive around who live in the country there.
Were there a lot of flat tires in the race?
I saw a lot, but I mean, there were only so many people ahead of me, so.
Drew,
I'm just saying there probably were way more flats behind me than there were ahead of me. And even out of the 5 people that were ahead of me, one of them flatted out. Yeah. In the last few miles. So,
did doing this race make you more inclined to do the Gravel Earth series? No.
I think it made me less inclined to the Gravel Earth because I found out how much the Gravel Earth charges the promoters for them to be Gravel Earth, and it's absurd. And then on top of that,
how much is it?
It's like $10,000 just to be a part of the series. And then on top of that, if you want them to come to your event and do media, you have to pay them $15,000 just for them to come to your event and them do their content. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why doesn't Lauf and the Rift not get rid of Gravel Earth, put the $10,000 towards prize money, and then spend the $15,000 to hire a production company to just come and film the race, and then you own the content, and then you can promote the race on your own? Like, seems like a ripoff. $25,000 just to be a part of the series and for them to come and take a couple little videos. Like, and if you go to YouTube right now, the only videos that exist on this race are like, the big ones are like Ted King's and a few others, but the Gravel Earth video that they put out last year was like a 2-minute clip, and it was mostly just drone footage of a volcano. It wasn't even of the race. And I'm like, maybe this year's going to be better. Maybe they actually did have like a production team, because they did get a bunch of footage, I guess, from the race, because I've seen a bunch of clips, but that just seems kind of like a ripoff to me. $25K.
Listen, to the Rift, if you or anybody, if you want the Bonk Bros at your race, we only charge half of what the Gravel Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17.5.
And you got to pay for all our flights, but
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I kind of think that. Yeah, I think they expected. I'm pretty sure the Gravel Earth people are like, so where are we staying? And so then Lauf had to like find them a place to stay, and just
half the clips I saw was just people falling over in the river.
Yeah, it is the river. The river is the easiest part of the race to go and look at. Like, if you watch Ted King's video, the only footage that he has is of the river, because the river is like it's like really close to where the start of the race is. So it's like, but beyond that, it's really remote and very hard to get to.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I didn't pre-ride.
Sweet, man.
Like I basically only pre-rode up to the river because it was so remote. Like, the further I go out, it's like I have to go back. So like I didn't have time to go pre-ride at the.
True.
It was all totally new. but it's epic. People should do this race. Like if it's between this and Unbound, this takes the cake for sure.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting at. Was like being part of the Gravel Earth series. At least you get to go to dope places.
Yeah. Iceland is like worth the trip if you're gonna go for experience, I guess.
Did you know the guy that won?
No, not really.
Magnus
I rode with
Claris?
the whole Paul team the couple days before the race because I ran into Simon, so I was talking to Simon, and I met all of them on that ride, but I didn't know that he was that. I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him either.
Apparently, the guy who got second is like a marathon mountain bike world champ, I think.
Who is it?
Tiago Ferreira.
Oh yeah. He was at Leadville last year.
Yeah, and we have to race him. He's going to be at the mountain bike race that me and Chase are doing. So fingers crossed, his teammate sucks.
Probably doesn't.
I know.
2016 cross country marathon world champ.
Yeah,
dude's
balling.
big.
I was
huh?
hoping
He's
he was.
probably
I was hoping he was washed since that was in 2016, but turns out he's not. He's pretty
Nice.
fast.
He's like 6. He's probably 6'5" or 6'6" or something.
Tall.
He's
Yeah.
tall. Yeah.
He's skinny though.
Yeah. All right. Latest drop bar mountain bike sighting for Leadville.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm going to say here?
Keegan was on a drop bar mountain bike.
No.
I saw his linkage on the shadows.
Keegan's been on a drop bar mountain bike. That's not news. This blew my mind, and I didn't even want to send it to the group chat because I wanted to.
The whole purpose of the group chat.
Alexi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Mhm.
god!
Wow, that is mind blowing because he on this podcast like 2 years ago said he would never do that.
He said he would never do that,
Iceman.
and he had a bike made with a custom paint job with all these different sayings on it, but one of them said no drop bars.
Whoa.
What a
And look at him
hypocrite.
now.
Dang, the tides have turned.
I know, dude. I
Ooh, how the
texted him.
turntables-
What
I was like,
did you text him? You just gotta text him. Like you gotta find like the perfect
Said told
what do you
you.
call those? You gotta send him the perfect GIF of like.
yeah, I should have. Well, I just texted him, bro. I don't even know you anymore.
It's pretty good.
And what did he say back?
Let me pull
How
it up.
probably
him?
didn't respond. I don't think.
No, he responded.
You
I
guys
like how his
homies.
post talked about how he's like still unsure about it though. Like he wants to make sure everyone knows like, I'm still not on team
Yeah,
drop bar mountain bike.
he
I'm
was
just
like-
doing this because I'm influenced by everybody else doing it.
Yeah.
He was like, I mean, his main thing is that it looks stupid, which is why he wouldn't do it.
But it doesn't though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just a
We've made a
subjective
career
thing.
in Lycra. I mean, and you care about
Yeah.
your drop
Seriously.
mountain bike, like
True. And I mean, I think that like everything in cycling, it only looks stupid at first, and then if enough people do, I mean, we're just products of our environment. If enough people do it for enough time, it no longer looks stupid. Like that's the case with every pair of Oakley glasses that has ever come out. They come out and you're like, wow, those are the dumbest things I've ever seen. And then Matthew Vanderpool wears them for like a week. And so does the rest of the Peloton. And you're like, actually, you know what? Those are
so
pretty
did
sick.
you
I think
order
I'm gonna
some
buy.
of the? Did you order some of the nose ones, like the nose form?
No.
You
I
got
haven't.
them? They're on the
No,
way.
I haven't. No, I don't have the nose ones. But that's a perfect example, right? Those glasses came out. So many memes about it. Everybody was making fun of these glasses. They're like, those glasses are the stupidest thing I ever seen. All it takes is for, a couple pros to win some races in those glasses. And you're like, actually, you know what? Those are sick. And I think that's the case with everything. Like there was a time where aero helmets looked stupid. There was a time where skin suits looked dumb. There was a time where aero socks looked dumb. There was a time where like you can anything like when it first comes out, you're like, that looks pretty stupid, but it's just all what you're used to. Like to normal people who don't ride bikes, everything looks dumb. The fact that you're in tight clothing to begin with, riding a bicycle is dumb.
100%.
So I don't know.
Downhill's sick.
That's why downhill's sick. Yeah. Yeah. You know that downhill, like they used to allow skin suits in downhill and then they banned them.
Because they were nerdy as hell.
They looked like losers.
Because they like wanted to protect the image of downhill. Like they wanted it to look
exactly.
They wanted it to look more moto and less like we're doing a time trial right now.
Maybe that's why they've done the sock length rule.
Yeah, I mean half these rules are
Cosmetic
to stop cycling from looking more stupid than it already does. Like that's why there's no other reason to have a sock length.
Triathlon.
Right, exactly. Triathlon doesn't have any rules about how you look, so it just looks as dumb as
or
possible.
How your bike looks. Like look at a Tour de France TT bike compared to a Kona Ironman bike. Like the Kona bikes look ridiculous. It's not even bikes anymore.
Right.
Did they? Yeah. They used to do 2 different sized wheels. They do it a smaller wheel in the front to get, I think, more aero.
Yeah. Triathlon, you mean?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, my advice to Alexi would be like, dude, it's only going to look stupid until a bunch of people do it. And I would argue that a bunch of people are doing it this year. So it's not going to look stupid. In fact, if anything, if you're on a regular old mountain bike with regular bars, people are going to be like, bro, what is this guy from the 90s? What are you doing, bro? Get with the times.
You think John Gaston is going to show up with drop
hope
bars?
John Gaston has drop bars. I hope one of two things. I hope either John Gaston has drop bars or I hope he has do I hope this? Because then it would prove me wrong. I was going to say, I hope John Gaston just beats everybody with normal bars.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool too.
Alexi said he thinks that 8 out of the top 10 will have drop bars this year.
So is he putting himself in that top 10 or no?
Dude, of course he
is he putting himself on the drop bar or not on the drop bar?
I mean, if he's going to have flat bars, then he's only saying he's got a 20% chance of making the top 10.
You think Lachlan will do it?
Well, Lachlan's been known to run a weird bar setup in the past. Like, I don't think he cares about how his bike looks.
He did just do a mountain bike race this weekend, and he won on flat bars, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was a more real mountain bike race.
Yeah, what was that, Tahoe Trail?
Tahoe Trail, yeah.
I mean, that one, I've never done it, but I'm assuming you want a normal mountain.
Yeah, he beat Lance. Lancey Pants was second. Which I was surprised to even see Lachlan go to Tahoe Trail.
Yeah, I was a little...
Super random.
Yeah, I was kind of thrown off by that too.
I don't think Lachlan cares about the aesthetics of his bike. He's run aero bars back when aero bars were a thing in gravel. Like he run a weird ass bar setup 2 years ago at Leadville where his like stem was like a -90. So
somebody sent me this thing where the stem goes down and attaches to like the bottom of the crown of your fork or something. And
yeah, that's on that was on that 32-inch prototype.
Yeah. I'm like, but and I messaged back and said, bro is DIYing his mountain bike. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know about this. Like it looked unsafe.
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of that is. Other than maybe it's a prototype and they just needed to bolster it better.
Well, I think the purpose of it is that 32-inch wheels are so freaking big that if you put your bars at the normal spot that they would be, they're going to be way too high.
For sure.
Wait, there were 32-inch wheels on the bike too?
Oh my gosh, dude.
I missed that.
That's probably why they sent it to you. They didn't give a shit.
Our podcast last week was about this.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't get to it until the end when Drew already his mic already broke.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. It just stopped working. Oh yeah, how much crap did you guys talk about me after I bailed?
No, we just talked about 32-inch wheels.
Went back and listened.
Nah, you don't do it. If you don't want to be sad,
you're a good friend.
Have you guys checked to see if you can
to what
get,
we said about you?
Can you get 32-inch wheels on Bike Tires Direct yet?
I'm gonna go with no.
Ooh, I have a question that I may formulate here momentarily. Ooh, Tram.
You have to join our Patreon before we'll answer it. So
okay, you could point.
Are you going to tell us the question or what?
I need to think about it. I'm
Also-
trying to look for these tires now.
Is this a thing, or did I make this up on the Matchbox? I'm about to do an unwelcomed ad read here, but for Ignition Coach Co. for coaching, if you are like super supporter on Patreon, do we have it set up to where you get an extra discount on coaching for Patreon? I think I did that for Matchbox. You get an additional, because you already get $100 off if you mention this podcast. I think if you just say Bonk Bros 100 when you sign up for coaching, we'll give you $100 off your first month. But if you are a Patreon supporter, like not the free one, don't care about those people. I'm talking about the people that give us their money, the people that support us. We'll give you another $100 off of coaching for your first month. It's basically a whole month for free. Is that cool with you? Can we make that happen?
It's your coaching company, so
I know, but I'm cool with that. I'm saying let's do that, but we just have to put
All
that
right.
in the writing.
yeah, we could do that.
That's a thing for the Matchbox too. Also, if you listen to this podcast, we have a
Drew,
less
this is the
funny,
kind of thing that we
more
This is
serious.
the kind of thing that we discuss in the monthly business meeting, not like while we're recording.
Yeah. Let me say,
give people
that
a
was
peek.
yesterday, and none of you bums were on there, so I'm doing it now. I'm doing it
I
now
had
in the middle of the
another meeting.
podcast. Dylan, you've never been on one of those calls, and you're the co-founder of the company. Are you going to tell me?
used to
You're
be-
going to tell me about the monthly coaches call that
He's on the
you're
board.
never on.
I mean, I used to be on a lot, but
Yeah.
they were kind of boring.
They are.
They're not boring. You guys talk about good topics.
Yeah,
It's
yesterday
one of the
was
reasons why I like coaching with you guys.
yesterday we had a whole really good conversation on the importance of feedback, and I honed in on the post-race evaluation form that I use with athletes.
Is this turning into a performance review?
Yeah,
Drew, are you going to give us all performance reviews right now?
you don't want that, Tyler.
Live on air. Yeah, maybe not right now. Maybe you should have given
I
me a
should
performance
give
review a month
grades.
ago.
I could be like a teacher that gives out grades.
That could be a YouTube video. You could be like rating the Bonk Bros, their performance reviews.
Actually, other people should. The listeners should rate us. Really, like
they do.
That would be
You can-
awesome.
They do every
When
week.
you rate us, give us a grade. Like at the beginning of your question, write all of our names and give us each grades, like A, B, C, D.
Drew,
and F.
I don't think that you would want to see what the listeners would grade you.
Pass fail. I'd like to be pass
we'd
fail,
have
please.
We'd have to divide it up into categories because
What
what
categories?
would I be being graded on?
Knowledge of bike racing.
Yeah, see that I would admit I'd probably get like a C- on that.
General
Bill-
snark.
Ability to not interrupt people.
Yep.
Yeah, probably not.
Handsomeness. That can be one.
B+.
Yep.
Can they rate guests?
Yeah, then we'd probably
Sure,
get outrated by all of our guests.
That is true.
Sounds like Alex Howes was more popular than all of us. So
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
I had a lot of people say he was.
Why do you think we got him on?
A good guest.
Confirmed, there are no 32-inch mountain bike tires at Bike Tires Direct.
I have a question. This is mostly for Adam because none of you know about anything about SRAM. Can the new 13 speed stuff still pair with the old shifters, or do you have to have
Yeah.
new shifters? Can That's
No,
all.
it just has to be Axis. So like if you have the original red E-Tap shifters, I don't think it'll pair to those.
Do I have to buy new chain rings for 13 speed?
No.
13 is compatible with all the 12 speed stuff. As long
Pretty
as
sure it's the
flat
same
top.
exact chain.
Say what?
Sweet.
I think it might be the same chain, actually.
Yeah,
Is it flat? I forget. Is it flat top or is
it
it?
is flat. top.
It is flat top.
They
yeah.
say that it's compatible with all the other 12 speed flat tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that because Trey at the bicycle station made me buy the expensive red chain because he told me that it wasn't compatible, and I looked it up and it is, and so
Did you ask for a refund?
What do you
Freaking
call
Trey.
that when they oversell you?
Yeah, overselling.
Yeah. Okay.
Drew, you want to know what else
Sold
is
you on it.
super infuriating about that? The SRAM force chains are not only cheaper, but they're also more efficient than the SRAM red ones.
Dude,
You could have gotten,
spending
you could have
more
gotten
money
fourth,
to go
dude. You could
less
have got,
fast.
you could have won that sprint.
No, probably not. I don't think that wasn't a chain efficiency.
Did you wax your chain? for the Rift?
Yeah, like, wax all my chains. So yeah,
Cool. Did you use the speed chip or the endurance chip?
I don't use that crap.
Speed, dude. Looking for speed.
Yeah, that's just.
Do you actually not use the speed chip or the endurance chip?
No, I mean, I'm already waxing my chain. Like, you're talking about a marginal gain on top of a marginal gain. Like, I think
It's the same process. You just drop it in.
Yeah, and my pot has been really full of wax, and so like I haven't been able to add anything to it because it's like about to overflow, and for some reason it's like not going down. I think there's a bunch of crap down at the bottom of the wax pot that I need to somehow get all the gunk out of there.
Can we replace do they sell like separate little, like I was talking to somebody the other day and I couldn't remember if they did this or not, but separate little bowls for the Crockpotanator
That pulls out.
Oh, like interchangeable?
Yeah, because I would love to have like a training wax thing and then like a race wax.
Right.
Like
so they do make, I don't know if they make it for this crock pot, but I know for normal crock pots, you can get a crock pot liner.
Somebody told us to do that. So I think
if you put a liner in there, you could have like a liner for your speed chip. You could have an endurance chip liner. You could have a strip chip liner. You could have a
pull the
standard
plastic bag
liner
out and then you got to label the plastic bag to remember.
Yeah, it's just like
sounds messy.
The label that's on the other plastic bag that it comes in.
Nah, don't do that. Just let all the crap goes to the bottom anyways. Like
dude.
Again, we're talking about marginal on top of marginal. The fact that we're
but think
waxing
of how long it takes for you to clean it before you can put your nacho chips in there.
Yeah,
dude. If you just have a bag, you pull that bag out and you can dunk your cheese right into it.
Yeah.
How long will it be before we get our own special painted crock pot?
Dude, wait. Were you not on the group text about that?
Of course I was on the group text. I just don't respond.
Richard,
I'm a group text consumer. Okay.
Richard was it in the group text? Richard sent us a mock-up.
He mocked up one that was like,
where's it at?
It said Crockpotanator. But just for the record, I'm not the one that brought this up. So I'm not going to be the one that gets in trouble for talking about it. Just for the record, I didn't do this embargo right now.
I don't think there's an embargo on this product.
Okay, good. I'm just saying, in case there is.
You know what there is an embargo on is their new sealant that we're definitely not supposed to talk about. It's way better.
Now we're just going to start making crap up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, did you guys know that the riders at the tour are drinking tart cherry juice?
Oh, dude, hot take.
I've been doing that.
Can you believe that?
I just said that.
Revolutionary.
What is that like? Is that like a Velo News article or something that I missed?
Every year.
It's every single article in existence right now.
Is
talking about tart cherry juice.
Really?
What are they going to be on next? Beats? They're going to tell us how Beats. Like, let's take back this trend from 2010.
Yeah.
And talk about how revolutionary it is.
I remember like back in high school, my dad was like, had a bottle of tart cherry juice in the fridge and we would take a shot of it every night before bed.
If it doesn't do anything, it does taste good. I have it in my fridge.
Yeah, it does.
I'll just chug it when I get home from a ride because I'm like, this tastes good.
It's a bit of an acquired taste.
Maybe.
But once you acquire it, it's good.
I don't think the one that I get is super, super tart either. I get the like big jug of it from Costco.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Is that just Kool-Aid? High C? You get the high C,
cherry
flavored high
Kool-Aid.
C. Like, this is the same thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Antioxidants, yeah, right.
30 grams of carbs. It says cherry on it. It's probably got cherries in it. Cheer. Well.
All right, we got listener questions.
Hold on, I'm trying to find. Here's the.
Oh yeah, sick. I mean, we can barely see that, but. Yeah,
cool. But it says Crockpotanator 4000 right on.
For those that are just listening and don't know what we're looking at, we're trying to get a custom painted SILCA wax pot that's going to be the Crockpotanator 4000, and it's going to be, what is that, blue with lightning bolts for some reason?
I don't know. My phone's in black and white, so I can't see colors.
Dude, smart move.
Why?
Break that addiction cycle.
So to me, it looks like it's black and white.
Okay.
Which I think looks sick.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just, I forgot you're colorblind.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm colorblind too.
I feel like we should make that happen. I feel like those would sell if we had.
Well,
one.
Richard heard me give a shout out to them requesting that like an episode or two ago. And then he sent that to Grace, who sent it to us.
All right.
To which you didn't respond.
Yeah, he's a group text consumer, not a participator. We did have somebody comment, Moish said that about the no bike swap rules in mountain bike. He says, or they say, that the original intent from Norba back in the 80s was to encourage companies to make more durable equipment and for races to simulate a backcountry ride where you didn't want to break stuff.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it says, here's someone being mad about riders even getting mechanical help at all from 2005. Which I can kind of agree with that. Like, if you're going to make it a backcountry style race where you can't swap bikes, dude, no pits.
No pits.
If you want a spare wheel, you put that thing on your back.
Yeah, dude, who wants to have a top, an actual sport when, you having pits and support? That's stupid. We should all ride side by side in the wind so that there's no benefit of drafting. There's no tactics. It's just mano-y-mano.
Back in the Norba days, weren't the races like 3 hours long and it was only like 2 or 3 laps?
Yeah.
I mean, the sport...
They were more backcountry style.
The sport of cross-country mountain biking is way different now. But I still agree with the one bike rule. I think that makes sense. I think that it makes the like equipment balance more interesting. I mean, I said this last week, but like you can't just run the lightest tires possible because you're probably flat them. And then if you do flat them, you got to change the wheel out and that'll cost you 30 seconds, which I think is the appropriate amount of penalty to have for having a flat tire. I don't think like having to pull out of the race because you had a flat is appropriate, but I don't think just immediately swapping bikes and it's basically no penalty at all is appropriate either. I think about a 30-second penalty for your mechanic to switch the wheel makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess like, yes, but also like doesn't mean that having, like in mountain biking specifically, that having a mechanic follow you around the course. I'm not like advocating for that, but it just seems silly that you have a sport like cyclocross or road cycling where riders can literally just change equipment as needed. But mountain biking, somehow they still have to ride to this pit to have somebody change a wheel. It just seems like we're clinging to something that no longer serves us.
Well, agree to disagree. All right, we got more questions.
Calvin says, this just popped on my Instagram ads. I've heard you guys talk about the science of cool, in quotes, water circulation being beneficial for endurance riding. Just wondering if you guys would try something like this cooling jersey out. At apparently 500 grams for the whole system, that's not too bad for DJ's already 30-pound gravel bike setup. And then he sends the link to Thermobionics.
I'm sharing on the screen here.
What is what is that pack in the seat? Is that like, that's got to be connected to you?
Yes.
Yeah, here you go. Right at the bottom. You see the guy?
Oh
Can
my
you
God.
also piss into that? Is that like a...
It's a cat.
It recirculates.
Okay, so for those who are not watching on YouTube, this guy's
watch on YouTube.
This guy's wearing a jersey that's got a tube attached to his saddlebag.
So what's it pumping through? Just water?
Can you even
or
stand
like-
up? Oh, they got to get a better... Dude's on a Walmart bike. Look at that.
I mean, it doesn't help that this guy looks like such a Fred.
Oh, yeah, that's not helping at all.
Oh, yeah.
Why is he wearing it on the outside? Wouldn't you want that on your chest?
Well, it's a
shouldn't that be
jersey.
under
The
your
promotion
jersey?
Can you just stick the tube thing? Can you just stick the tube thing inside the jersey? It doesn't have to be attached. You don't have to attach it to your saddle.
This
So
is
what
also
is-
what DJ's. This is a thermo graph of DJ's bibs mid unbound as well. As it cools.
Yeah.
So is it just putting water on you?
It's like an ice vest that will recirculate the water.
Okay, here's
and
my
it cools
here's
it down.
It keeps it cold.
Yeah.
How does it do that?
I actually think that this product
That little
is onto
thing
something.
is cooling down the water.
Simply fluid quick connector.
So it's like a refrigerant or some kind. Okay.
Look, I know that we're giving this product a hard time right now, but I
how
actually
does it
think
keep
that
it
it's
cold?
onto something.
Is there a way to look that up, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm sure
It's not
there
on the
is.
website.
Dude, it's like a pre-sale. Not
Cooling
yet
that
available.
actually works. Well, we want to know how it works. We're not going to just take your word for it, buddy.
And also, here's the
Advanced
biggest thing.
Fluid. Okay.
Because I looked into this. I didn't come across this one specifically. Maybe this one wasn't out yet when I looked into it. The biggest thing is, how long does it last? Because if it lasts 2 hours, you still got 8 hours of Unbound to ride with a 500-gram water
No need
vest
to
on.
refill.
You buy 3 of them and swap it
Well,
out
yeah,
at every aid.
Yeah, but how long is it going to take to swap out a jersey vest? You already got to be in and out of the aid station in 15 seconds or you're dropped.
Put a new one on.
aid
By the end, you've got
stations,
1,500 grams extra, but you just keep slapping them
You
on
keep
there.
putting them on top of each other. Well, I wonder
You
if
might
you can
have to-
just
you might
unplug-
only-
you only have to unplug the reservoir.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Because that's the part that's got the batteries attached to it. It says long-lasting batteries. Maybe you can like jerry rig it so that it connects to a DeWalt battery.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
do you see
Bosch.
do you see the guy that they have modeling this thing? Long lasting battery could literally be 90 minutes. They think that's like a long bike ride, and they don't realize that we're thinking about using it for 10 hours.
You're
So-
thinking about using it for 10 hours.
The one product that I was like sent you before Unbound, like 2 months before Unbound or whatever, when I was talking about this, they use phase change materials where once the material itself gets hot to a certain point, you can tune it to different temperatures. It changes phases, so it'll go from like a solid to a liquid, and then it cools off. That's what I think you'd want because it's rechargeable.
Like your clothes, like turn into liquid. Like it turns
Sort of.
falls off.
Yeah.
Then you're naked.
What?
Is that what you're saying?
No. It's still in a bladder, some type of bladder like this. But basically, like it's basically like taking a sand, like a sand weight vest, like that has sand in it, and converting that to a liquid vest. So it changes the state of the material on the inside, but it's still contained in some kind of vessel. You know, it's either a vest or it can be a bladder or whatever. But that's what I think you'd want for this, because you can recharge that on the fly.
How do you recharge it?
Sometimes just exposing it to
Solar.
cold water
Somebody's
or
gotta
warm
figure out
water,
how to-
depending on what.
Solar. You gotta
What?
like put a solar panel on your helmet, and then that charges the cooling system. That's what.
No, this
somebody's
has
gotta figure
nothing.
out.
This is not electronic at all.
Somebody's gotta figure
There's
it
no electronics involved.
Oh,
So like a product that I developed was a product for women going through menopause that would have heat flashes or hot flashes. I mean, so when their body was heating up, they would wear this. It was called like the cool cami or something like that. They had this like little vest or little like, it actually looked kind of like a fanny pack. They had this little like fanny pack strap that they would strap around their stomach. And once their body temperature started to rise to a certain temperature, and again, you can tune it to whatever temperature you want to change states at, it would change phases and then it would cool them off. And then to recharge it, they would just like pour some cold water on it.
wow. I didn't know
Look,
you cared so much about menopausal women.
Someone hired me to do it, so yeah, I did.
We can make jokes about this, but I'm serious. This is like the next frontier in cycling.
Look,
I 100% agree.
This is another reason why you
yeah.
just don't do Unbound and go to the Rift, because it was
hot.
like 50 to 60 degrees the whole time. Like, because
still-
the sun doesn't
Yeah, but that's
set, it
50 or
just
60
stays
degrees for
nice.
everybody. If you do a hot race and you can take an advantage, then you have an advantage on the rest of the competition.
Right.
Scott sounds like me right now.
No, I'm just saying, don't do the hot
Never
race
mind
and
then.
just do the
Don't,
one and
don't
just
listen
do
to what
the
I just said.
just do the
Yeah, no,
race.
but
and
what Scott's saying is then everyone has access to cooling at the Rift.
okay, I see.
I don't know why it took you so long to understand that, Drew. Like if everybody's cold, then you don't have an advantage. Like the only reason why you would want this thing is so that you like, for
You're
example,
cold,
your
everyone's
bike,
hot.
your bike at the Rift was, you don't want everybody to be on a Lauf with a spring fork
Dylan,
and mountain bike tires.
You're really just trying to take this away from me. You seriously are so trying to take this away from me.
Dude, you had a good performance, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but
also you had a good bike choice.
You had a
and
massive
honestly,
advantage because of your bike.
No,
But
dude,
that's part of
actually, what was the bike, Dylan? What bike was on?
it was a Lauf, man.
The Lauf Segla. Y'all hear that? Straight out of the mouth of Dylan Johnson.
You had a good bike choice setup, and I respect that.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm on the verge of convincing them to get me a discount code. So for the billion people that have asked me, keep asking me, and I'll keep asking them, and eventually we'll crack them, and we'll get that discount code.
yeah, like the guys that drive for Ferrari, it's not like they get discounted or their performances get discounted because of the fact that they are driving like the best car out there.
Yeah, but
That's
they
part of-
actually
that's
are
part of it.
driving the fastest car. Like,
I know, and so did
to
you.
me,
you might have had the fastest bike out there.
They're just driving a car.
Well, they still have to pilot the car.
Yeah, but like, there's no physical capacity. Like, that just seems less.
Okay, well, I was trying to say that their performances don't get discounted, and you straight up just discounted their performances.
Yeah, because cycling is so much harder than that.
Okay.
I'd have to think through how to make this argument, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Are you saying that riding a bike is harder than driving a car?
No, it makes sense that the fastest car wins a car race. but like a bike race,
Yeah.
In a bike race, the fastest it wouldn't make sense that the fastest bike wins. Like because the rider on the bike is so much more important than the bike. I feel like in car racing, it's not the difference between the importance of the rider and the car and the bike versus the driver and the car.
But if you look at the bike and the rider as a system, it's kind of like looking at a car, right?
Drew
Like you
just
can have the
finds
fastest engine, but you can have the slowest chassis.
In the bike
and
race,
you're not going to win the
rider
race.
is way more important than the bike. In a car race, I would say the car is way more
except look at
important
all
than
those
the rider.
guys that flatted out that you beat.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to that, but if you're
I
talking
think
about,
we're talking about.
I think there are certain bike races.
so that's even worse. Dylan's just saying the only reason I got 6 is because everybody else flatted out.
Well, I think there are certain bike races like the Rift where if everybody's on inferior equipment, like if you go back to the Rift, now people are starting to adopt wider tires. But if you were to go back to the Rift 5 years ago and everybody was on 38s and 40s and you showed up with the Lauf Segla and had the springy fork and the 2.2 mountain bike tires, your advantage would be so massive. It'd be insane.
Like the two guys that I sprinted with, I think were on like 45.
Like if you were to win the race that year, your win kind of would be because of the bike. And probably not this year because at this point people are catching up and they're
if you're
putting mountain bike
listening to
tires on
this is what Dylan's saying. All you have to do is buy a Lauf Segla and you'll win races.
Yeah, you could also buy a felt. Look.
Doesn't matter.
You could
how
also
fit
buy
you are.
a felt.
Actually, that ad I
breed
did about
carbon.
coaching earlier. Screw that. You don't need coaching. Just buy a better bike.
Yeah, you could also buy a felt breed carbon, and you can also fit those tires on it. I just want to say that.
You've just sold what? You just sold your third one of those. So there's 97. There's 97 of the Dylan Johnson felt breeds still for sale. That's how popular they are. He sent me a video. He sent me a video of a guy that sent him the video of him buying that bike. And on the top tube, it said 2 out of 100. And I'm like, oop, they're not, they're not making it.
They only started selling them like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty in stock for all you people that want one of those.
Look, but I think what Drew was trying to get at with for example, in Formula One, if you put the fastest driver in the slowest car, he's not going to win the race.
He's not going to win.
In the Tour de France, if you put Tade on the slowest bike in the Tour, which I don't know even what that is, like
still going to win.
He's still going to win.
Thank you. You made it a little more. Yeah, you made it better. Good job.
I'm doing what I do where I say what you said, but better.
Yeah.
Like more articulate.
But that time you actually did say it better, so thank you.
All right. Good talk.
Sick.
I really
What
want
else
to
you
go
got
see
for
that
us, Tyler? You
F1
got any
movie
other?
that you went and saw, Dylan. Dylan went to
good,
the movie
man.
theater.
You went to a movie?
For all those people that think that Dylan's anti-fun, he went to the movie.
Did you bring a notepad and
Last
take
week.
notes the whole time
What? Why would I take notes?
He went on
to make something that's fun, not fun?
No. I just had a fun old time at the movies.
Yeah.
Did you eat popcorn?
His Australian friend,
No.
I think, made him go.
No, actually,
Did you drink a soda?
Actually,
like
I
Drew?
made her go.
Snap. Yeah, the Mega Gulp. You get the Mega Gulp with the free refill because it's cheaper.
Yeah, we actually didn't. I mean,
Popcorn.
this isn't going to help my cause of not being fun, but we didn't actually get any snacks or drinks whatsoever. We just had our water bottles. We
Wow.
sipped some water.
Did you bring some tart cherry juice?
No, but we should
That's
have.
all right. At least you got out of the house. You got out of that dark living room, so that's good.
I know. I went from one dark room to another dark room.
How was the film? Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought the movie was sick. I mean, there's some things that are like really unrealistic about it, like the fact that this guy who's like 50 something years old
Brad
is like,
Pitt?
Don't spoil it.
well, this is just the premise of the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. Like the fact that this old guy is like, who hasn't raced F1 in like 30 years is coming back to race F1.
That's
like,
Brad
that doesn't
Pitt.
make it.
I was wondering how they were going to tie, because Brad Pitt's kind of old, and I'm like, he doesn't look like the F1 driver. So that's okay, I got it. I was like, are they going to try to make Brad Pitt look younger? But they're not. They're just embracing the fact that he's kind of.
I don't know why, but I just love those kind of movies. Like every sport has that kind of movie where like the legend comes back, you know?
To give you hope.
Like Lance Armstrong in
Maybe.
2014 when he came back after his 3-year retirement.
When's the Lance Armstrong Hollywood movie coming out?
There should be a
Tour de Pharmacy, you mean?
That's what that
Allegedly.
That's what that parody on cycling is called, the Tour de Pharmacy.
Tour de Pharmacy. Yeah.
That's pretty good. The best part about I watched this movie years ago, but the best part of it is like every time that they're sprinting for the win, they're like, "It's so close, it's so close." Because when you look at it from the camera angle of head on, it looks like they're dead even, but then it shows the helicopter view, and it's like a mile apart. It's like they made fun of that. It was so funny.
Yeah.
That was your favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
There's so many better jokes in that movie, and that was what you picked out.
Yeah, that's the one that stuck with me.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool.
I think that's good for a day's work.
Hey, Scott, is there anything that do you want to promote the other show?
Other show?
Or are we not doing that yet?
We're having another show? I'm gonna have to invite myself onto another podcast?
Exactly.
How do I get to be a part of the other show? Oh,
Chop off your
is it the
manhood.
girl? Oh, I'm not qualified. Is this the Bonk Babes one?
Babes.
Is that what it's called?
That's a new name to me, but
What's it called? What's it called?
Isn't
we
that
don't.
what it's
I don't think
called?
we have a name.
Why is that so? I thought that's what we were calling it. Why is that so?
Adam is laughing way too
it's
hard.
just
at
the
that.
girls' version
Yeah.
of this one.
It's not that funny. Drew
I don't know.
said
The
it,
Bonk
so
Babes.
It can't be that funny.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I've never seen Adam laugh this loud. I'm wondering, like, did I just say something I wasn't supposed to?
No, it's great. No, it's perfect.
We've thrown out like 10 different names, and that wasn't one of them.
Bonk Babes?
No, it wasn't.
Ah.
There was like Bonk Bitches,
Yeah, see.
which you didn't like that
yeah,
one.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
that's
not your show.
I don't
appropriate.
think you like that one either.
Why wouldn't we do Bonk Babes? It's alliterates.
That's a good one.
just
That's
like
when you
ours.
said
Yeah, no,
that's why I was laughing.
I actually think Bonk Babes is the best one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I thought that's what it was called.
It wasn't never called that, but I think it should be.
All right. So who's
Well,
going to
I'm
be on the
pretty good
show?
I'm pretty good at these kinds of things. I mean, like Ignition, Matchbox. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, but who came up with Bonk Bros?
yeah, I
though?
didn't do that one. I can't take credit.
I'm pretty sure that was me.
I can't take credit for that one.
I'm pretty sure that was Adam.
I think it was me, but whatever.
You can take
I
credit
think
for
it
other
was
people's
Adam.
work, though.
Wait, was it you? Was it Adam or was it me that
It was
came up
definitely
with it?
But I don't really care.
Dang it. Yeah. I'm pretty good at naming my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, you came up with Dylan Johnson YouTube.
Good job. You crushed it. You didn't even spell it right, though.
So
And your own
sweet.
coaching company,
Instagram.
Dylan Johnson Training.
Uh-huh.
What would the bike brand be if you were going to make a bike brand?
Dylan Johnson Bicycles.
Wow.
DJB,
Dang, I'm just like blown. I'm
DJBC
mind
What's
blown.
the C?
company.
Oh, yep.
Are we
right,
actually
so who-
doing that? The Bonk Babes? Is it happening?
We're not doing it. Someone else is doing it.
Yeah, none of us are babes, so it's not really our... But who's going to be on it again?
Lance hate it.
I'm listening.
And there's going to be a YouTube, so you can watch it too, Drew.
Subscribe.
Does anybody who is talking on this podcast right now know
Yeah.
anything about
It's-
it?
Quick interruption because it's time for the Bonk Bros to step aside and the Bonk Babes to step in. You heard that right. The Bonk Bros is making a sister podcast. So our first recording will be out next week, and our Instagram is at Bonk Babes Podcast. So make sure to tune in to our episodes and follow us on Instagram.
Hey guys, Tyler jumping in here to talk about my upcoming racing. That's right. You heard it a couple weeks ago. Your boys are all going to Iceland in Traverse City this November. We're going to throw down and see who really is the king of the Bonk Bros. And for me personally, I'm struggling to fit in my training into all the things that I have going on, whether that's golf balls that I got to go hit, got to work on that swing. It just general work, or having to teach Drew what linkage is, which he really should know. And that's why I've started using Join Cycling, the #1 training app that puts a professional cycling coach right in your pocket. They've got 400 more workouts for road, mountain bike, gravel, no matter what, they got it. And really, I'm trying to fit this into my hectic schedule between summer vacations, work stuff, new meetings popping up, podcast recordings, etc. It's a lot. But the great thing about Join is it has an availability feature where I can tell it how much time do I have this week, and then the plan adapts to what my real schedule is. So for me, that's amazing that I can still get something in 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, and I don't feel guilty that I didn't ride for 2 hours or more. And I feel like I'm being consistent week to week, and I'm building on that progression. So hopefully I'll be fit by November. We'll see. But in any case, Join is really helping me stay on top of it. I don't feel any stress about missing training, and I'm feeling like I'm going to be in good shape when the time comes. So if your week is chaos, your training doesn't have to be. Join fits into your life, no matter how unpredictable it might be. So go ahead, link is in the show notes, join.cc/Bonk Bros to try it for 30 days. And we also have a group on there too, so you can train and join the group and see how you compare to the rest of the other Bonk Bros followers. Anyways, back to the show.
Dude, I did hear over the weekend, I was listening to sports radio, and they were talking about how the women's all-star game, they were going to have live player exchanges like hockey.
Say what? Oh, like where you can sub right on the spot.
We're not deep enough into other sports to even know what you're talking about right now.
Okay.
Just tagging in.
I thought it was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's interesting. Where are they doing that?
At the women's all-star game.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a concept.
They should just start taking more of hockey and applying it to basketball. That would probably just make it cooler. Like fights and stuff. That's mainly what I meant.
Yeah. They should take a
but the
page out of
problem
the
is,
crit
like-
book.
Like in hockey, you're fighting also on ice skates on ice. Like, dude, if you can just like have normal leverage
fighting.
to fight people on a basketball court, that'd get out of hand quick.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you also are wearing helmets and pads. And
Yeah, helmets,
Yeah, but
pads.
the first thing
usually
to go
the
when
helmets
you get
and
in a
gloves
fight
come
is
off.
like you rip them off and you start punching. Yeah,
Yeah, but then as soon as they hit the deck, like as soon as they're on the ice,
it's
they
like
break
useless, it up. Yeah, and the ice. Okay, so you're saying the ice kind of makes the fighting not as violent.
It makes it a lot harder for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like think
That's
about like
an awesome
LeBron
part
James
about
taking
hockey
one
that-
huge swing at
That,
someone.
like fighting is a known part of it, and like even the refs will let it go for a while, and then they'll break it up. Like imagine
Yeah.
if it was like that in any other sport. It's just that's rare. That's cool.
Boxing.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, the point of boxing is that you fight.
I know.
You know, any fighting sport. I guess, like what Drew's saying is hockey's the only sport that's not a fighting sport where fighting is expected.
Yeah.
Somewhat in baseball, right? Like when they rush the mound, but like that's not again. That's
No.
Yeah, that's like
You're getting
that's bad.
ejected.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But sometimes it'll happen in baseball where big
sometimes,
fights
I mean,
are-
sometimes it'll happen in football too, but you get thrown out.
yeah.
In hockey, you just get put in the penalty box for a few minutes. So like it's still against the rules as far as like you get a penalty for
And
it.
Peter Sagan got relegated from the whole Tour de France for just sticking out his elbow. We're a bunch of pansies. Yeah, that's what. All he do is stick his elbow out.
Were you on team Peter Sagan when that happened?
I don't know. I just think that cycling's a dangerous sport and crashes happen. And obviously there's very like obvious, but I didn't think that was a very obvious. He was like trying to crash him out. I think that he was just trying to not crash himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like the head-on video footage looks like he elbowed Cavendish.
No,
But if you look
it doesn't
from the
look like that. Yeah.
but if you look from the overhead shot, you realize that the elbow was not going into Cavendish. It's more of like he was just shifting his weight.
Yeah, and balancing. Yeah, exactly. Trying to like not crash.
Yeah, I mean that's really old news at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't-
true, very old.
Talk about old news.
Yeah. They should have thrown some punches after that.
Tyler, do we have any Instagram questions?
If it was that, what's the word? Not belligerent, but what's the word I'm thinking of?
Belligerent.
Yeah, belligerent. I think I left out a couple letters, but if it was that belligerent, then Cavendish should have went and found him and just fought him in the parking lot after the race.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
USA crit style.
yeah.
Let's go.
Hockey, straight up hockey.
Bring fighting
Throw the
into
gloves,
cycling.
Take off their gloves and their helmets, just like hockey. Take their little.
At least
spandex
Legion would be
gloves
relevant
off.
then. Allegedly.
All right, well, wrap it up.
Sounds great.
All right. See ya.